So I'm here today with Suicide Commando. First, thank you for the interview. My first question is since
Oh, that's a
the
difficult question.
beginning
to
of your
start with.
career in the 90s, what is your current vision
Well,
of
of
the
course, in the
EBM
80s
industrial scene?
and the 90s, the EBM scene was very big with bands like Front 242 and Clinic and all these other bands. And yeah, over the years, I think it went a bit downhill, but you still have bands like Front 242 playing live, but it's a bit different than 30 years ago, so you also don't hear it anymore or not much on national radio stations like it used to be in the 80s. You could hear it on the radio stations everywhere. So
Your main subject is the suicide and death. Have you been issued by censorship on social media or something else?
no, not yet. But I know from a lot of people that they, when they type in Suicide Commando on Facebook, they get this message if you need help, or I don't know, something like that. So yeah, in a way I can understand, but no, there hasn't been any censorship so far. So
You have a song and an album called Bind, Torture, Kill. This is the initial of the serial killer BTK. Can you speak about this song? Why did you choose to call this Bind, Torture, Kill?
well, I wrote this song, and actually the complete album was kind of album about serial killers. So I was, yeah, quite fascinated by the entire serial killer cases, and yeah, the more I read about it in books and the more I checked the internet, you could find so many crazy stories about serial killers worldwide. And yeah, I think Bind, Torture, Kill was something that sounded pretty good. So yeah, so for me it was perfect way to to use it.
Are you still inspired by a serial killer for the last album?
Not for the last album, but I'm still fascinated by the whole serial killer thing and more the psychological aspects. Also, not really their murders or their killings, but more what's going on in their minds when they become a serial killer or when they commit a murder or whatever. So
Yeah, something more profound like
yeah,
psychological. How was the creative process of God Destructor?
God Destructor basically is more about religion again. So about, in my opinion, religion is one of the biggest dangers in the world, because actually believing in a god or whatever religion you like, normally it should be something positive to give hope to the people or whatever. But I think religion is often too often used for negative things like terrorist attacks and war and murder. So I still think that religion is more of a danger than anything else. So
Okay. What is your lyrical mind themes? Do you keep your inspiration from your own experience?
sometimes, no, not always, but sometimes my own experience, sometimes things I read, or you just have to switch on the television and watch the news. So basically, I get inspired by a lot of things, and so.
Can you put the light on an industrial or EBM project that you like?
Oh, there are many bands that I like, but
You can name many bands.
um, I, yeah, I grew up with the old EBM bands like Front 242 and Skinny Puppies now doing their final tour in America. So for me, those are still the big bands, and somehow I still prefer these old the, these old bands over the newer ones. But of course, there are also some very good newer bands.
You're nostalgic about this.
Maybe you can call it nostalgic. I don't know. So yeah.
Okay. You released nine demo. Do you plan to do reissues of it?
Um, Now we've done a few reissues of the old tapes. Some of them on vinyl now, but I think that's. I think I will leave it at that, and yeah, it's also this material is so old by now, and so I think. Yeah, I think the best was re-released, and then so I think it's good like it is now. So.
Have you ever think to work on a movie soundtracks, or you have already do it?
I've never done it, and it's actually something I would like to do because I think my music could fit some movies pretty well for the atmosphere. But of course, you have to be into that certain. You have to have connections to whatever. So it's not so easy to get into this movie scene and get asked to do a soundtrack. So. Maybe someday, I don't know. I think there are some smaller movies used some of our songs, but that's basically it. So
Do you have any favorite movie genre that you would like to work on?
yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of the Rob Zombie movies. So and also it's interesting because I think I sampled about every Rob Zombie movie by now in my song. So yeah, he's basically my favorite, and yeah, more into horror and this kind of thing. So also the Tarantino movies and.
Can you speak about the artwork of the last album? Who made it?
The last album was done by an American guy, a friend of mine, Vlad McNeely. I think it's his second album he did the artwork now for. I think Forest of the Impaled was the first one he did for me. Before that, I used to work with a German guy, Alex. Sorry. Yeah, I think after working with Alex for a few years, I think it was interesting to get some new ideas, new fresh ideas from someone else, and so far it worked out pretty well. So
Are you going to make a summer festivals tour?
we'll do some summer festivals, but not a real tour. I think we play at Castle Party in Poland. Also a few smaller festivals in Germany. So and yeah, in 2 weeks now we play Wave Gothic Treff in Leipzig. But yeah, we did Amphi last year, so yeah. So but yeah, we'll keep on playing there, but everything in its time. So.
Okay. My next question is more something more profound, more philosophical. What is your own definition of being an artist?
That's not a difficult question to end with. No, I don't really consider myself as an artist. I just when I started making music back in the late 80s, it was just because of my love for this kind of music, for the passion for this music. So I'm very lucky that I got some success with it, and Suicide Commando became pretty big in the scene. But it never was my intention, and probably I'm an artist, but I don't look at it that way. For me, it's just the perfect way to get rid of my emotions and my feelings, my aggressions, and it's the perfect way to express myself. And so for me, music is my therapy to stay sane in this insane world.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any last word for who listeners?
As I would say, thank you for supporting Suicide Commando for so many years, and I'll hope you'll continue doing so and enjoy the music.